This is registerednursern.com, and today I'm going to look at cholinergic urticaria frequently asked questions. And a lot of people have endless amount of questions about this condition, especially if you first started to develop it and you figure out, hey, this is probably what I've got. So I thought I'd take some time to go through some of the most common questions people have in a short video. So just real briefly, I'm not a doctor. Everything I'm telling you just comes from my own personal experience and research, so don't try anything without talking to your doctor first, okay? Okay, first question. Does cholinergic urticaria hurt or itch? It usually does. And it kind of feels like a prick or a bee sting, and it itches really intensely for most people. Now, some people, they're lucky and really blessed, and they get hives, but they don't actually really hurt or itch that much. And I've had several people comment about that on the forum, but the majority of people, it does very debilitating itching and stinging sensation. Okay, when do most people develop it? It most commonly appears for people when they're in their late teens or early 20s. That's certainly when I got it. I got it when I was 18 years old for the first time, and I didn't know what was going on, but I've had people on the website forum back in the day when I had a forum active. They had young children with it. There's been people in their 60s, maybe even 70s, I think, that have had it. So it can happen pretty much at any age, any skin color, any geographical area. It happen all over the world, black, white, Asian, whatever kind of, skin color and ethnicity and all that. It can happen across the board. Men, women, happens to everyone. Okay, how long will I have cholinergic urticaria, and will it ever go away? Well, it's really hard to say. There was one study released. It's on, I think, emedicine.com was the website, and it says the average people had it for about 7 years on average. There were some people that had this consistently for about 30 years on my website, and they were able to manage it to the point where they could live their life, but they did have it for 30 years. And you could have it on and off throughout your whole life, really. You may go years where it kind of doesn't bother you, and it may come back, or, it may go away randomly one day on its own, and you never get it again. So it's just really hard to say, and it's really random. I would say that you should try to have a positive attitude. I've been able to completely overcome my hives. They don't bother me. It's not an issue for me anymore. I can live my life. I can go shopping. I can go out to places. I can exercise and sweat. I can go outside. I can do whatever now. So if you're struggling with this, I'm going to be putting out a lot of free videos here on YouTube, and I also have some articles on my website you can go read right now. And I'll be telling you about what strategy I use to be able to overcome it, and it mostly consisted of just really examining my diet, cutting out stuff that I found my body just didn't tolerate well, and it took a long time, but I figured it out. Okay, another question. Is cholinergic urticaria all in my head? No, it's not in your head, and it would drive me crazy when people would be like, well, maybe he's just imagining it, or, oh, I think he's just, it's in his head, he's stressed out. No, it's a real physical condition of your body, okay? And I think I'm going to make a video that said for people who, if you have like family members or something, I'm going to make a video that's basically like one giant rant that says, this person has a serious condition. But anyway, it's not in your head. It's a real condition, and it's painful. It's real. It can be depressing. It can be very hard to overcome. The physical symptoms are undeniable. I mean, you can actually see the red hives, the redness, the itching, whatever. So, yeah, it's not in your head. You're not crazy. This is a serious condition. A lot of people have it. I don't know how many. It's kind of hard to say, but I know there were at least 300 members that joined the forum when I had it active there for a while, and I would imagine a few hundred more that didn't join but visited the website regularly. And then on top of that, who knows how many hundreds or thousands there may be who don't even realize what this condition is and they have it. So, is cholinergic urticaria fatal, and will it affect your lifespan? Well, the good news is pretty much no. It's not fatal. The only exception is if you had such a severe reaction, you went in anaphylactic shock where your throat swells shut and you die. That's not very common, but if you have a severe case of it, it's a possibility. But I don't think anybody's died from it that I've seen anywhere. And it's not, you can always go to the doctor and get checked out to make sure you don't have some cancer or something like that. But in most cases, it's not connected with any cancers or anything like that. I have found one article where someone had a rare leukemia, and it seemed that they had cholinergic urticaria also, and when they got chemotherapy, it went away. But it doesn't seem that cholinergic urticaria alone is associated with any cancer. You can have it sometimes along with a cancer or something else, but don't get too alarmed. And if you were stressed out about that, you can always go to a doctor and get a few blood tests, and they should be able to rule most things like that out. And it doesn't affect your lifespan at all that I know of. So, what is the best treatment for cholinergic urticaria? I'm going to make a video on treatments, but there's nothing that really cures it as far as like you take a pill and you're cured forever. That doesn't really happen. There are some treatments you can take, like you can take antihistamines. Some people, if they have especially like a very minor case of cholinergic urticaria, they can take an antihistamine, and sometimes that alleviates their symptoms enough to where they can just go on and live their life. Some people have to do a little bit more aggressive treatments, and I'll cover those in more depth in a video. And also, I have an article right now on it if you want to go read the article, but I'll talk about that some more. Which type of doctor should you see if you have this? Well, the way the healthcare system is here in the U.S., a lot of times for insurance purposes, you might have to go to like a primary care doctor first, and then they might refer you to like a specialty doctor if they think you need it. In most cases, like a dermatologist would probably be most familiar with this. You can also see an allergist to see like if you want to get like allergy testing and so forth done. Those are probably the doctors that are two most common. I would really strongly urge you to steer clear of any like homeopathic people and acupuncture stuff. I mean, that stuff just probably, several people posted on the forum. To me, it's a scam. It's not a scam in that all people who do it are necessarily out to get you, but some people they may believe in it, but it just, ultimately, it's not probably going to help you at all. Try to stick with a regular doctor. There's a lot of doctors that are really still ignorant about this condition. I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but I know a lot more about this than some doctors, and you probably know more about this than some doctors. And a lot of people, like I remember when I first went, they didn't have a clue what was wrong with me. They didn't even know what this condition was. So it's becoming more well known, which is good. Okay, is cholinergic urticaria an allergy? Well, that's kind of a difficult question because it's usually just categorized as a type of physical urticaria or type of hives. And so it's really not usually considered an allergy in that sense. I sort of consider it an allergy in a way because I've seen articles, for example, I remember reading one article where someone had like a woman had like a copper birth control device, like intrauterine device, IUDs. She had a copper one and she was getting cholinergic urticaria. She had it removed and then her symptoms went away. Me personally, after like all of my diet experiments that have taken me forever, I've come to the point where I just feel that, it probably was related mostly to food allergies and stuff. That's, to me, probably the biggest thing. But, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say for sure on that. Is it diet related? Well, like I just said, to me it was. Certainly, anyone with cholinergic urticaria can have like an attack if you eat a spicy food. So in that sense, like your diet can definitely impact. It can definitely cause you a reaction if you eat something that increases your body temperature. But in terms of like, is a specific food you're eating causing you to have this? For me, I feel like it was a number of foods just kind of all building up an immune response in me that was making my immune system more aggressive. And when I was able to clear those out, my body kind of returned to baseline. But I don't know, that might be controversial for some people. Some people, it may not be food related. And I suspect people may have cholinergic urticaria for maybe different reasons. Like there could be some subsets where maybe it's just this like autoimmune condition from your sweat. Maybe some people have something in their environment or something they're eating that's leading to this. I don't know. It's hard to say. But in my case, I feel like diet was related. Is this a new disease? How long has this disease existed? Well, that's a great question. I don't know of anything really ancient that talks about cholinergic urticaria. However, I know that it dates back to at least 1924. There is a mention of it. So it has been around a while. And that's helpful to me because for a while I sort of wondered, is it because all these preservatives and stuff they had in food? Well, the fact that this was all the way back in 1924, before they really started to add too many additives and things to food, that to me sort of said, well, that's probably not the main cause. But okay, is cholinergic urticaria a disability? Well, it can really disable you in a sense. I mean, I remember I had it so bad one time I couldn't even really go outside and mow the yard, or sometimes I would just walk into a store and start breaking out in hives because the temperature, would be cold outside and warm in the store. So in a sense, it's sort of a disability. People probably don't like what I'm about to say, but I feel that if you just go and get disability and sign up for that and get food stamps and everything, to me you're just sort of quitting. And it definitely can change your life if you let it, but there are a lot of things like, when I was suffering with it at the worst, I was bringing in an income because I got on the internet, I learned how to write articles, I even did freelance writing sometimes, I started my websites and I sold advertising space on those. There are things you can do out there to make money, even if you're blind or deaf or whatever. I mean, there's ways to make money in the world, and it might be difficult, but you can do it. And so it sort of does disable you, and it can definitely prevent you from doing certain activities, but I would encourage you just to fight it and just try to find a way to earn a living and thrive and achieve your dreams, and don't let it just ruin your life. And and hopefully, I hope these videos I put out will help you overcome it completely to the point where it's not even an issue for you anymore. But either way, just, it is what it is. And finally, it can be difficult. I don't have any more questions. I think that's all the questions I have on this page. But it can be really difficult for younger individuals. And so I would say, like, if you're a parent and your son or daughter is suffering with this, it can be very, very frustrating trying to manage school, and especially if they have sports activities or whatever. Try to be there for them. Try to understand that this is a real medical condition. It's kind of like, asthma or any other condition you can think of. It's not in their head. They're not imagining it. And it's not something that they're exaggerating. This can be, I remember on the forum some people would complain they can't even go to their mailbox and check their mail because they would just be breaking out hives almost constantly. I remember one guy had it so severe, it was one of the most severe cases that probably that's ever been out there right now. But it can really be hard for people. So definitely you need to be there for them. You need to understand if they can't do some kind of physical activity in school or whatever else. So that sums up all the questions that I'm going to address in this video. I'm going to put out a lot more, and again, I'll talk more about treatments and what I did and everything like that. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.